Okay, just wanted to do a quick video. This is build 155, and I'll just go through and see what I see real quick. So these are working, looks like. Great. Okay. Like the new transparent. That's pretty cool. Buttons look great. I think most of this stuff is working. Most of the basic features are working, right? As you can probably see on my screen, this is the emulator. The tab bar kind of covers this up and whatnot. We can worry about the graphical stuff later, but okay. Let's do an encounter. Buy some water and take off. I didn't quite catch that alert, but we can go back and see what it was. So here's the police. First thing in this encounter that I see is you shouldn't have all these buttons. Let's see. Please, oh well. So he's summoning me to submit to an inspection. So okay, I guess we should have all those buttons in that case. So let's see if we bribe him. Okay, so that exited our encounter sequence, and that's a bug. That obviously it should have gone through a bribe and either worked and he took the bribe, or it didn't work and he didn't take the bribe. I think these are not quite working yet, you said. So let's back there. Looks like we didn't use any fuel on that, probably because we exited the encounter. In fact, okay, so let's try that again. So there's a couple interesting things going on here in the encounter that I've seen before in more recent builds, and that is sort of the same exact encounter coming up. I'm not sure if that's related to the back button or what exactly is going on here, but it's pretty rare that you would see exactly the same ship type that would be a police and that they would be summoning you to submit. So my point here is that you could run into another police on your second warp, but seeing the exact same ship, and police don't always summon you either. So submit. Okay, so that's the first sort of problem that I see here. We did, it looks like, make it to the planet that we were headed towards, but we didn't use any fuel. So we're not using fuel. We're going to get the same encounter again. Let's try and flee. Okay, and so I need to pay a little closer attention to the distance that we're going here, but again, we're not using any fuel, so that's not right. Try it again. Still getting the exact same encounter. So this time this is actually working. So this time we don't have a bribe option because they want us to surrender. That's because we ran from them last time. If we surrender, so right there, what it did pop up a dialogue which is supposed to be asking us, are you sure you want to surrender? And then you would hit OK or no, but we don't actually get to hit anything. It just goes right there and exits the encounter again. So now we're here, so we're actually doing the warp. Again, not using any fuel. Somehow we have more credits. Not sure how that happened. So there's some weird stuff going on in the encounter. You know, I'm gonna send a. Okay, so now we're out of that loop at least, so that's good. So we're seeing a different ship. We're seeing a trader that wants to trade. Yeah, so this is one of the bugs I was seeing is trader wants to sell food. Here's the price. There's 4 units for sale. You can afford 14. Okay, so now if that was working, we would have moved on to the next. We would moved on to the next ship in the encounter sequence. In other words, if I would have actually done that trade, this guy would have gone away. So that trade doesn't actually do anything. When we get to the planet, we'll see that there's nothing, that we didn't actually buy that stuff from him, since we already had 8 water, and we didn't use any cash. So that's one of the bugs I was talking about. That time we did use fuel, which is good. So something about that police encounter was causing us not to use fuel, it looks like. So again, we're seeing basically the repeat encounter again. Same ship, he's a trader, he wants to trade. These are all things that should be pretty random, right? The type of ship that you're encountering, if you're encountering a trader or a police or a pirate, if you're encountering a trader, they shouldn't always want to trade. It should be random. And there are some weighted values in the code in one of the files that it initializes that give it a weight for how often or how likely it is that they will want to trade. But this is definitely something interesting going on here, where we're seeing pretty much the exact same encounter coming up, and we're dropping out. It looks like we're dropping out of the encounter sequence pretty much on any action. Let's see. And we did use fuel. Looks like we used the same exact amount of fuel. It doesn't want me to click on Akamar. Okay, now it's getting a little fuzzy. Clicking on stuff. So this is a different, potentially different guy. He's not damaged, but it is the same ship. Again, this would be fairly unlikely. And so if I do any of these things, well, I can't really attack him, but if I do ignore trade, it's probably going to, trade doesn't really do anything. Ignore is going to probably drop me out of the encounter. We're 14 clicks away, so we should definitely be encountering additional ships. If I say ignore, then it shouldn't just be dropping me out of the encounter. So those are some things to get the basic encounter working. The randomness of the type of ships, whether it's a trader, whether it's a pirate. There should be a correlation between the system information. So if we always seem to be using exactly the same amount of fuel if we are using fuel. So far in this video, it's been 8 units of fuel. That should be relative to the distance. And this is kind of an odd behavior. It's not really letting me click on places that I've already been, it looks like. That's an interesting one. Okay, so here we have a different ship, which is great, and we have a pirate. So now if I surrendered, normally what would happen is, okay, so we get an alert that the pirates plundered me. So that means, and we get another encounter, which is good, looking good. Means when we get there, we should see some of our cargo should be gone. We used to have 8 water, and that's a close. So I'm gonna kill this one for now. Remember how to do that.